Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Trey Olds Radio Show. Trey Olds presents Autism to Artism, a view of creativity. Today our guest is Joshua Blow. He is a aspiring writer who happens to have cerebral palsy. He's also known as Josh, the CP guy, the cerebral palsy guy. Join me and my guest in a few minutes. Okay, my first question to you is, how does your story begin? Where did your journey begin? How did everything begin for you?
How did everything begin? I was born with my disability called cerebral palsy, and I was just born with it, and then it took me years to accept my disability because, like, when I was younger, I wished I didn't have a disability, and I wanted to get rid of my disability when I was younger if I could, but obviously I can't, so I accepted it, and when I graduated high school, I actually wanted to become a Disney animator and work for Disney, and then I took a college class, a computer animation college class, and that didn't work out for me because it was too hard, and my teacher didn't what's the word? He didn't, I told him what I needed, but he didn't, really understand because he probably didn't work with people with disabilities before or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So, and then I quit the class, and then I actually decided to write my own book. And the reason I decided to do that is because COVID just began, when I started writing it, and I had nothing else to do, so I just decided to write a book, and I had plenty of time on my hands, so I just did that.
So your book, what is your book called? Are you still in the process of writing it?
I'm done writing it, and it's going to be published before the end of 2021 is up, but it's just getting published right now. But I'll say this: my memoir is a mix of my own experience with my disability being cerebral palsy, and it's also a mix of history about disability with me talking to the reader. So, it's just like a mix of everything. And what makes my book different than most people with disabilities that the books are out there is because my book is written by me being a disabled person. And when I decided to write a book, I looked on Amazon and different bookstore places, and all I noticed was that books about disabilities were either written by the person who had a disability, their parent, or the guardian, and it wasn't told by an actual disabled person's perspective. So that's what I noticed, and that's why I wanted to write a book to not level the playing field, but get more people's voices with disabilities out there to either being an author or encouraging people to write their own stories. So that's why I did that too. But, yeah.
Absolutely. We need more disability advocacy out there. There's never enough.
Yeah. And actually, when COVID started too, I decided to go on TikTok, and at first I didn't want to do TikTok videos because if you look on TikTok, there's the disability challenge videos where a lot of people are making fun of disabilities, and I didn't want to be a part of that, but I realized maybe I can change people's perspectives about disabilities and be advocate for disability and be a positive role model. So that's what I've done, and then I've grown ever since then. Currently, I have 3,217 followers. But for me, it's not about the followers. For me, it's about how many people I can reach with my disability advocacy, and how many people I can change their perspective about disability and stuff like that. So,
Absolutely. Everyone needs to be informed about disabilities. Not everyone is fully aware of other people around them, and
yes,
there are people that are very unkind, but a majority of people, they are very nice and are open to discussing disabilities with you. And you never know, you could be the person that could change someone's mind, if they don't understand it.
Yeah. Because many people with disabilities either use crutches or walkers or nothing at all, and you don't know if they use mobility aids. For example, myself, when I was younger, I used a walker for a couple of years, and then I switched to crutches.
Mm-hmm.
And my doctor, when I was born, they said that I would never walk, but I'm walking with crutches. I've been walking with crutches for 15 or 16 years now. So, and most people without disabilities don't understand that that crutches or walkers or any other mobility aid is an extension of that person's arm or wherever that mobility aid is. And a lot of people ask me if they could use it. And when I was younger and I was in school, I would let people use it because I didn't know at the time that it was an extension of my arm or my limb. And I didn't know better at the time, so then I let people use it. And now I realize that was a bad idea, because if there was an emergency, I'm letting them take my ability to walk or move to get out of dangerous situations. So, don't let anybody use your mobility aid, so in case you actually need it. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So you're done writing your book. Are you doing any other projects with your disability advocacy, or are you just focusing on the book right now?
I want to. I've been speaking for my old high school that I used to go to. I've been speaking there, doing my disability advocacy work there, because my old teacher lets me do it there, and that's where I started doing disability advocacy. But I want to be an actual public speaker for people with disabilities and get paid to do public speaking at one point or another point. But I don't plan on going to college, and this is what I want to do. And I just want to let people know that you don't always have to go to college to be successful, and you can create your own paths, because this is a scary point, but people with disabilities don't get hired by businesses that often. It's much lower job opportunities for people with disabilities. So I just found something that I want to do, and I want to help people with disabilities, and I'm planning on working for myself one day, and so.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're a lot like me. I never went to college. After high school, since I was in school, I've done the radio show and community acting and theater and so forth, and it's something I always wanted to do. And you're right, I always tell people, you don't have to go to college to be successful. A lot of people these days think you do, but you really don't. And
Yeah.
it's an interesting experience what I've done, interviewing and acting, and I've done a few speaking engagements because I have high-functioning autism. It's not my main goal to be a speaker, but I do it when, and I enjoy doing it, giving awareness. But
Yeah. And like my disability being cerebral palsy, like it affects my ability to drive because I don't have 20/20 vision, and by legal standards, I'm legally blind. So I can't drive, and that's one downside of having a disability is like sometimes you look forward to something not your entire life, but big milestones, and you want to be like everybody else. Because I wanted to be like my brother when he got his license and driver's permit, and I wanted to drive and be like him. You just want to drive somewhere when you can, but like my disability doesn't allow me to do that because of my vision. And I'm legally blind, but that does not mean that I can't see at all. It just means I can't see small print like from far away. I need big print, and that's what when I was in school, I had a lot of people enlarge assignments for me so I could see them bigger and better and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I'm legally blind as well. I'm legally blind and colorblind, so I definitely understand where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. So.
My next question to you is, what is your advice to people who have a disability but just don't particularly know how to get out there in the world or do what they want to do in life? What are your words of wisdom to people who have a disability? Don't give up. What are your words of wisdom for that?
Don't let your disability define who you are or what you can do, but don't be afraid of the word disability, because the word disability is not a bad word. I mean, a lot of people like to be called disabled, and some people with disabilities don't like the word to be defined as disabled. A lot of people with disabilities have different words that they would like to use instead of disabled, but like some people don't mind the word disabled. But I would say like don't listen to people that say like you can't do this or you can't do that. The only limit that you set is your own limit, and you don't let anybody else's limit define what you can and can't do. And let's see. And let's see. I'm trying to think. I lost my train of thought for a second.
That's okay. Yeah. Take your time.
So, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, don't let other people's opinion about your disability bother you, even though it probably will. Just do your own thing, and if you like I said in one of my TikTok videos, I said like if you need help with something, it's okay to ask, but like if you try something and that doesn't work, try something else. And if you need help, ask for it. There's nothing wrong with asking for help now and then. People with disabilities ask for help, and people without disabilities ask for help. There's nothing to be ashamed of, and you shouldn't be ashamed of your disability. Yeah, instead you should make your disability